Welcome to my LGBT lesbian channel. The series Checkmate, Stripper and Dance for Me are voiced for you in full history. Thank you for your comments, reactions and subscription to my channel. Have a nice day everyone. Camila Collins' point of view. I took a deep breath, inhaling the delicious aroma of the Swiss bath salts, which were mixed with the water of my hot tub. The foam covered the entire surface, which left me almost all submerged. I was only with my head against the edge of the tub, letting the rest of my body relax with the water temperature. That whole atmosphere made me remember what had happened hours ago. Flashback on. I kept my eyes closed, just feeling the touch of Lauren's soft hands on my wet body. The shower's warm water fell on us, getting lost smoothly between the minimum spaces that existed between my body and Lauren's. The woman was gently kissing the skin of my right shoulder, providing me the delicious sensation of having her lips on my skin. On the other hand, her hands squeezed my breasts, massaging skillfully, making me sigh. Lauren's naked body was glued to mine from behind, causing me that inevitable heat due to the contact of our skins. I like every detail of your body, she whispered, descending my abdomen with one of her hands. God, Camila. I like how you touch me, how you kiss me, how you make me yours, Lauren. I felt giddy. Lauren Jauregui had that damn power over me. Somehow, she could hold me wholly to her, not only physically, but emotionally and mentally, with her strong and determined personality, which at the same time could be so submissive to my wills. She rescued something deep, almost hidden inside me, and even though I tried at all costs to avoid the way how she engaged me, I could only sink deeper in that situation. Like in a quicksand, the more you move to get out, the more you sink. I tilted my head forward, leaning against the cold marble wall. Lauren pulled my hair up on one of my shoulders, and gently kissed my nape, going up to my earlobe, which received her eager tongue and heavy breathing. My fingers slid down the wall that supported me, when a soft moan left my mouth. The woman descended her hand from my abdomen to my wet sex. Oh, Lauren. Feel how you are mine, Camila, she whispered with that husky and dragged voice in my ear. Flashback off. Was it possible for me to feel hot now? Just with the memories of Lauren's touches, her kisses, her words? Undoubtedly yes. The images of the woman filled my thoughts in such a perfect and detailed way that I could even feel her hands on me, her mouth on my body, her tongue on my skin. My body responded in signs of arousal to just the memories of how that woman made me completely hers. Lauren in an extraordinary way could have me wholly, as if she knew exactly what she needed to do to take me off orbit. She didn't need to make me reach an orgasm to leave me lost. Our foreplay already attended to that goal perfectly. She had a power, an energy over me that I would never be able to explain. No, don't think about it, Camila, I whispered to myself as I opened my eyes. Don't think about her. I finished my bath and got out of the hot tub, grabbing the white robe that was hanging on the wall. I put on the white thick piece as I walked to the large sink that was in the bathroom. I looked in the mirror for a few instants that were enough for me to notice a small mark on my neck. Damn her, I exclaimed with a smile. The mark was small, but it was still visible before the almost darkened redness. I shook my head as I grabbed a small container that had the foundation with the color of my skin. I spread just enough to hide the mark that Lauren had left in me. When I finished, I placed the foundation on the sink, and when I looked in the mirror again, I had the image of Christopher behind me. Oh fuck. Let out in a scare. The man let out a loud and amused laugh. I turned to face him as I leaned against the sink to try and control my uncontrolled heartbeats. His laughter stopped gradually as he walked towards me. I'm sorry, sweetheart, I just wanted to surprise you. You almost scared me to death. He still laughed a little more as he wrapped my waist with his arms. I'm sorry, relax. I smiled awkwardly, and he pulled me into a hug. I missed you, he whispered close to my ear. I closed my eyes and only then hugged him the same way. I didn't answer, I just hugged him for a few seconds until he loosened his arms around my body. The man looked at me, fixing his intense gaze on me. It weren't those so mesmerizing green eyes that analyzed me now. Christopher brought his big hand to my face as he inched his face closer to mine. I took a deep breath, closing my eyes then. His lips weren't delicate, nor as soft as Lauren's, but I kissed him. He pressed his lips against mine, looking for any opening to slide his tongue, which was soon granted. Chris' large body pressed against mine as his hand squeezed me against him. I opened my eyes, realizing that his were still closed, as if he was enjoying every second of a kiss that only he was committed to. I lowered my head, interrupting our kiss before pulling away. Me too, honey, I said with a fake smile as I freed myself from his strong arms. I walked into the bedroom as I felt my husband's hurried footsteps right behind. I was grabbed from behind, receiving his lips on my neck. What do you think about us making up for lost time? Oh, Chris, I'm very tired. Don't be mean to your husband here, we spent so many days away. And I miss you so much. He turned my body to face him, and skillfully he laid me in our bed. His body accommodated itself on mine, making me feel a greater weight as his eager lips kissed my neck. I didn't want that. I wasn't in the mood, much less aroused to have sex in that instant. Chris. What happened, Camila? You don't want to take a shower first? You seem so tired. Love, I'll get you something to eat. No, sweetheart, I just want you, he said as he untied the sash of my robe, leaving part of my body partially bare. I think you better do as I say, I murmured. He continued to kiss my neck, now descending his hand to my thigh. I closed my eyes, and the images of Lauren came to mind, just to make that situation even more uncomfortable. It wasn't guilt, much less a heavy conscience, but my body didn't react in another way that wasn't discomfort. It wasn't for him that my body craved, it wasn't the rough touches of a man that I needed. Take a shower, I'll prepare something for you. We can stay all day in the bedroom, I murmured as I disentangled myself from his arms. The man sat up on the bed and nodded grudgingly. I'll do that, but you're not off the hook, sweetheart. I know, I'll be right back. I covered myself with the robe again and left the room, leaving him alone. I descended the stairs, heading towards the kitchen. My head was spinning with so many accumulated thoughts in that instant. Is everything all right, ma'am? Eliza asked as soon as I entered the kitchen. Everything's fine, I lied shamelessly. Prepare something for Christopher to eat. Okay, what do I prepare? Anything, Eliza, a sandwich, some juice, I don't know. The woman nodded quickly and took care of getting the ingredients. I sat on one of the stools next to the counter in the center of the kitchen as I circularly massaged my temples. I'd have to prepare myself psychologically for the beginning of the argument with my husband, who surely would react in the worst possible way to me refusing him. My head exploded in thoughts that were limited between Christopher and Lauren. The difference between the two of them was drastic and devastating. "Ma'am, here it is," Eliza informed as she showed the tray that contained a sandwich of something unknown to me and a glass of orange juice. "Thanks." I grabbed the tray and then followed to the room, going over in my thoughts all the excuses that I'd give so I didn't have sex in that moment, when suddenly an idea popped up. "How come you didn't think about that before?" I murmured to myself. I walked into our bedroom, noticing that he was still in the shower. I placed the silver tray on the dresser against the wall, and then ran towards the nightstand. I opened the wooden drawer and held the small plastic bottle, which contained the solution to my problem. I grabbed one pill before putting the bottle of strong sedatives inside the drawer again. I looked at the bathroom door and to my luck, no sign of Christopher. Delicately, I opened the capsule of the pill and poured it into the glass of juice. The white powder fell naturally on the orange color, and with a spoon I mixed it, making it now just another ingredient of the wonderful meal. "Here you go, honey." "What?" he asked as he entered the room. "I went to get something for you to eat, look." Christopher wiped the excess water in his dark hair as he approached me. I received a broad smile, which I made absolute question to reciprocate the best possible way. "I have to take good care of my husband, right?" I asked as I took a step forward, to then deposit a small kiss on his cheek. "Of course, I love when you do that." His hands rested on my waist again, pressing me against him. I did a quick caress on his face and pulled away. "Eat first, honey." The man nodded, while grabbing the sandwich from the small dish. He remained leaning against the dresser, with only a towel around his waist. My gaze alternated between the man and the precious glass of juice. "How was your trip?" he asked. "It was very tiring. Canadian artists are very demanding," I murmured as I sat on the armchair on the other side of the room. "Did you get the contract?" "I did. We still have to close some details, but soon I'll get it." "You always get everything you want, Camila," he said as he grabbed the glass from the tray. That scene seemed to happen in slow motion before my eyes. The man raised the glass to his lips, and when he tilted it slightly to take a sip, his phone rang. Shit. The glass was set aside without a sip taken, and I cussed intensely inwardly. He walked towards the nightstand, grabbing his phone that was there. "Yes?" I just watched him from afar. "Finally, Agent Jauregui, I thought that you'd never find that out," he let out in an ironic tone. "Couldn't Lauren have called a minute later? Hell. Who was the bastard?" he asked anxiously and angrily, and after a few seconds, he exclaimed, "Son of a bitch. I'm going to the precinct right now." The phone was dropped aside on the bed in an aggressive and angry gesture. I got up from the armchair and approached him, at a safe distance. Christopher was visibly very nervous, his breathing now was heavy. "What happened?" I asked, confused. "Hyder, that damn son of a bitch is robbing me," he shouted. "God, try to calm down, Chris." "I will not calm down until I kill that guy. Get dressed, we are going to the police station now." Lauren Jauregui's point of view. It had already been half an hour since the end of my call with Collins. At any moment the man would enter through that door in search of evidence. Evidence these that incriminated Hyder Martinez as the responsible for the theft to his multinational. Evidence that was now in my hands, as a result of my work, which he judged insufficient. But since not everything could be perfect, there was a new big problem in the middle of it all. After the arrest warrant was issued and forwarded by one of our agents to the residence of Christopher's business partner, we had the information that he was gone. In other words, now we had a fugitive to be caught. The teams we had on the streets were duly activated to find the man wherever he was, everything under my supervision, of course. Good afternoon, Agent Jauregui. I heard Colin's raspy voice in my office. I turned my black leather chair towards the door to face the man who was there, next to his beautiful wife. Good afternoon, Mr. Collins. The words were for him, but my eyes locked on Camila, or rather, on the couple's intertwined hands. The Latina had noticed my evaluative eyes to that situation because she took a deep breath, and still kept her head held high with her superior air that was worthy of her personality. Good afternoon to you too, Mrs. Collins. Please have a seat. I let out the words in the most natural way possible, indicating the seats that the couple should occupy. It didn't take long, and Brandon entered my office, joining us for the meeting. How can you be sure that it's him? It was his first question. Camila's presence was making me lose focus. In a way, seeing her playing the good wife now had a strangely different impact, a greater weight, as if that wasn't made for her. And tension uniquely ours was present, as if only the two of us could notice. She was visibly uncomfortable with my so deep evaluative looks. I cleared my throat and shook my head to recover the main focus of that meeting. I managed to find the account to where the money was transferred. And it's in his name, I murmured as I handed the folder with the full record. The businessman analyzed the paper, while time or another my gaze met Camila's. I'm going to kill him, he seethed. I'd advise you not to do that if you don't want to spend the rest of your life behind bars, I informed with a sarcastic tone. Christopher rolled his eyes impatiently, while huffing in pure rage. What will happen now? It was Camila's turn to ask. As I told your husband over the phone, Hyder is on the run. The arrest warrant was issued and forwarded to his place of residence. I believe that the freezing of the account was enough for him to know that he was discovered. His family doesn't know anything? He asked again. He and his wife are divorced, and he doesn't have children. So we don't know much about her. But we're on it, don't worry. All the teams were activated, we'll catch this guy. I really hope you do that, Jauregui. I want that man behind bars as fast as possible, he let out almost challengingly. My dislike for the businessman now seemed 1,000 times worse. If before I didn't like Christopher Collins, now I hated the man. I sighed heavily, leaning my back on the chair, as I picked up my gun from the desk. I analyzed every little and precious detail of that object, as I slid my fingers on the barrel of the gun as if it were one of the most precious things to me. Everything under the gaze of the three people in front of me. My eyes left the gun and landed on Camila, and then on Collins. With that you don't need to worry, everything I do is done well, and to the end. My words came out firm, with that hint of sarcasm with the hidden truths that only Camila and I knew. Leave it to the police, Christopher. I'll solve this case, or my name isn't Lauren Jauregui. Oh. If you like that I voiced the continuation of the series Stripper and want me to continue, please like and write a comment on the video. This will be an incentive to continue working on translation and dubbing.